Coming up on News Valdosta, a body found in Lanier County is identified as a Bremerton man.
And the sex sting takes place in Moultrie.
Erica Bacon will give us a look at the weather, and Ariana Deans has our local sports. News Valdosta starts right now.
Welcome to News Valdosta. I'm Ryan Saylor.
And I'm Stephanie Salone. The body found in Lanier County, southeast of Lakeland, on Friday morning has been identified as 42-year-old Bremerton resident Keith Oliver Irwin. Bremerton police have conducted an investigation since late January when Irwin was declared a missing person. His body is in Atlanta undergoing forensic analysis and examinations. This case will be investigated as a homicide due to the unknown cause of death.
Moultrie police have arrested several people for solicitation and sodomy and prostitution. Jamie McConnell and Jasmine Mosher are charged with prostitution, and Justin Suber is facing prostitution and drug charges. Police say text message conversations with the undercover cop led to these arrests. The investigation began when Moultrie citizens complained prostitution was taking place in their neighborhoods. Police reports investigated by going on Craigslist and other websites answering prostitution advertisements. Former Thomas University Administrator Riddick West was the first to be charged with solicitation of sodomy. The Moultrie County Police reports it will monitor sites to keep this crime from happening again in the future.
Yesterday, we reported on checks in Colquitt County last Friday night and early Saturday morning. Today, we can tell you more about those traffic stops that produced 3 arrests with multiple felony drug charges. The Georgia State Patrol reports it has charged 34-year-old Shondell Collins with driving under the influence and possession of a knife and cocaine while attempting to commit a crime. The GSP also reports that 37-year-old David Collins was arrested for possession of cocaine and a knife or firearm while trying to commit a crime. The final drug arrest involves 47-year-old Betty Wagner, who was charged with having an open container, possession of crack cocaine, and driving under the influence. Authorities say a total of 20 arrests were made, including at least 11 DUIs.
New Jerusalem Church pastor Charles Luke Jr. in Moultrie was arrested yesterday and charged with 1 count of statutory rape and child molestation of a 14-year-old girl. The girl reportedly went to a medical office stating that the 42-year-old pastor molested her over the weekend. Investigations sufficient interviews and forensic evidence led to a warrant for Luke's arrest, and he was released on bond. Officials say the investigation is still ongoing.
The Valdosta Police Department promoted 10 officers yesterday with a ceremony to commend their achievement. Mayor John Gale, City Manager Larry Hanson, and the officers' families and friends were in attendance. Family members pinned their loved ones with their new badges, and Chief Brian Childress conveyed personal, heartfelt stories about each of the officers. The promotions range from sergeant to captain, and officers will begin their new jobs on Monday.
Law enforcement officers say thieves in Colquitt County this week stole a bit of farm equipment. Thieves recently stole wire copper on 2 separate occasions from the irrigation system on Livingston Bridge Road. 1 copper wire was valued at $1,300. Earlier this week, 4 black and yellow tractor rims were taken. They cost $13,000. A John Deere tractor valued at $81,000 and a Dodge Ram truck worth $8,000 were also taken earlier this week. Within the past week, over $100,000 in farm equipment has been stolen.
Pedestrians younger than 16 and older than 45 are most at risk for getting hit at a crosswalk. News Valdosta's Dorian Baber is standing by with information that could save your life.
With recent events in South Georgia, it is important to remind drivers and pedestrians of crosswalk etiquette. It is illegal for drivers to squeeze by, around, or cut off a pedestrian in a crosswalk. No pedestrian shall suddenly leave a curb or other place of safety and walk or run into the path of a vehicle which is so close that it is impractical for the driver to yield. When you see a flashing or steady "don't walk" sign, you should not cross the street unless you are already in the middle of the street. You should continue to finish your walk. Fines in the South Georgia for jaywalking can get up into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. For News Valdosta, I'm Dorian Baber.
Coming up, the local election board changes poll locations.
And local officials look at overpopulation in our schools. Stay with us.
When every moment matters and a hand reaches out. When someone gives blood and a life is saved. That moment when heartbreak turns to hope. You're there through the American Red Cross. Every day, the Red Cross responds to nearly 200 neighborhood emergencies. And your support makes it possible. Use this moment to join us today. Visit redcross.org.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Welcome back to News Valdosta.
If you're planning on voting this year, then your poll locations might have changed. The Lowndes County Board of Elections has changed the polling location in District 2 from Old Pine Grove Elementary to Trinity Presbyterian Church. The change occurred because the city of Valdosta has sold and is planning to tear down the elementary school. With several elections occurring later on this year, the Board of Elections needed to find a new polling location so the people in District 2 will be represented fairly during the elections.
Southeastern Federal Credit Union hosted the Valdosta Lounge Chambers Business Outlook Breakfast at the Valdosta Country Club last week. 170 of the area's top business leaders were in attendance. News Valdosta reporter Shelby Mitchell has more.
The Valdosta Lowndes County Chamber of Commerce held their annual Business Outlook Breakfast to provide local businesses with an economic forecast for 2014. Southeastern Federal Credit Union hosted this year's event. Business leaders gathered to hear from 3 economic specialists about local, statewide, and national markets. Dr. Cynthia Torrey provided the local forecast discussing threats and strengths businesses may encounter this year.
Over the years, as they continue to come back and present this information, the crowd has grown and grown, and we make this event open to the public because this is great information for anyone that is in the business community.
Georgia is expected to outperform the country, leading to a major shift in economic development strategies.
You know, the issue is that there's an awful lot of risks in the local economy related to government funding.
Thanks to speakers, local business leaders can now make informed decisions for the upcoming year. The 2014 Business Outlook Breakfast provided local businesses with positive expectations for the local, state, and national economy. With a greater outlook on improvements, businesses can now prepare for a successful year. Reporting for News Valdosta, I'm Shelby Mitchell.
100 concerned parents and citizens gathered Tuesday at Valdosta City Schools redistricting meeting to express their opinions on the matter. Assistant Superintendent Dr. Alvin Hudson addressed the issue of overpopulation at the start of the meeting. Overpopulation at local elementary schools has become an increasingly relevant topic among community members as the issue threatens to persist. Among these charter schools are Salis Mahone, W.G. Nunn, J.L. Lomax, and S.L. Mason. Hudson said the main goals for redistricting are to minimize classroom disruptions due to overcrowding while maximizing the educational experience, and to include as many neighborhoods per school as relatively possible. The next city school meeting will take place at 7 p.m. Tuesday the 18th at J.L. Lomax.
The Turner Center for the Arts has many events in store this year, and here's what they're doing to promote art education. Reporter Chandler D. Jackson has more.
Thank you. I'm here at Chick-fil-A's St. Augustine location, where vouchers are being dispersed in an effort to benefit the Annette Howe Turner Center for the Arts. These vouchers represent a 10% donation of your purchase that will go towards the Turner Center's art education programs. Can you tell us some more about the Turner Center for the Arts?
Sure. The Turner Center for the Arts is your community art center. We're located in downtown Valdosta, and we serve the communities of Lowndes County, southern Georgia, and northern Florida as a resource for arts in our community.
These vouchers represent a 10% donation of your purchase that will go towards the Turner Center's art education program. Mr. Cook, please tell me a little bit about how you feel art education is important to the youth.
I think it's very important. I have 2 boys, and I think our education is very important. It gives them a good foundation for their future, when whatever they choose to do.
The 14th of February, Valentine's Day, we have a show that night. We also offer a dinner before the show. It is called the Shanghai Circus, and they're a group of acrobats from China. They come over here. We've had them over here once before. They did a phenomenal job. It's really amazing some of the things that they can do.
This has been Chandler D. Jackson with News Valdosta.
District 1 Valdosta City Councilman James Wright turned himself into authorities Sunday morning in connection with an auto accident. His abandoned Ford F-150 was discovered near the intersection of North Lee Street and East Central Avenue. Wright was reported as the only occupant of the vehicle, which smelled of alcohol. However, Police Chief Brian Childress says that Wright has not been charged with driving under the influence. Wright was charged with hit and run, failure to maintain lane, as well as failure to notify after striking a fixed object. The City Council will implement any actions towards Councilman Wright's current office.
A quiet Thomasville neighborhood received a decorative fence to commemorate a rich piece of history. A prisoner of war site from the Civil War era was previously marked by a historical sign that detailed the location's story. That area housed almost 5,000 Union prisoners in the final months of 1864. Senior Assistant City Manager Cobb McDonald installed the new fencing to increase patronage among local community members along with heritage tourists. The fencing is meant to increase the lot's visual value and provide citizens with historic insight.
Up next on News Valdosta, the weather has been chilly, but find out how our weather will change this weekend. Stay with us.
I got my MBA online at VSU. As a working mom who travels on business, I needed an MBA program that fit my schedule and allowed me to balance both my work and home life. VSU's Web MBA was perfect. I was able to spend time with my family in the evenings and then complete my assignments. My MBA is one of my greatest accomplishments. It was hard work, but I would do it again in a heartbeat. Don't wait. Start your MBA today.
Welcome back to News Valdosta.
It's been pretty cool in Valdosta these last couple of days. What can you expect for today and tomorrow? Erica Baker has more with our weather. Erica?
Thanks, guys. Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and it's already starting to warm up here in Valdosta. The clouds from yesterday's showers are overhead right now, but expect that sun to peek out later on in the afternoon. Pack away that umbrella because there will only be a 10% chance of rain. Today's high is 56 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Now, although it'll be warmer, there will be winds of 15 miles per hour, making it feel like 52 degrees. Stay warm, folks. Bundle up for tonight. The temperature low will be 33 degrees with clear skies. Expect the temperature to start dropping around 4 p.m. For Valentine's Day, expect a sunny but cool day from Cupid himself. The expected high is 67 degrees with sunny skies. You can expect the weather to remain pleasant all weekend with temperatures reaching up to 75 degrees. Our UV index for today is at a 5. Expect to meet those levels at high noon. Levels will remain that high until this evening. That's moderate, but be mindful of those sun rays, especially if you'll be outside for long periods of time. Yesterday, our pollen levels were extremely low due to rain, but today those levels will return to normal. The level will be at a low of 4. The predominant pollens will be alder and juniper, so keep those tissues and allergy medicines close by. I'm Erica Bacon, and that's it with weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Erica. Coming up, Ariana Deans will give us a look at our local sports. Stay with us.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who do something, the people who take action, are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
Bring this week.
Welcome back. Let's check in with Ariana Deans for a look at sports. Ariana.
Thanks, guys. The Valdosta State softball team lost a second game in a 4-3 to Florida Tech Panthers before bouncing back to win a 10-0 in the NCAA Division II yesterday afternoon at Melbourne, Florida. The Blazers held a 3-2 lead in the 6th inning before the Panthers took a 1-run lead with a pair of runs that scored on a pass ball and a wild pitch. The split moved the Blazers to an 8-3 of the year. VSU opens the Gulf South Conference this weekend at Stills Diamond at Blazer Park with a 3-game series against the Shorter Hawks. The series will begin on Saturday with the doubleheader, and the first pitch is scheduled for 1 p.m. In basketball news, the Lady Packers from Colquitt County are one step closer to reaching the 6A basketball tournament championship game, but they have to defeat Lowndes for the third time this season. The number 2 seeded Lady Packers will take the 20-4 overall record score in today's game at 4 p.m., where they will play the Vicats. The Lowndes girls, who are the number 3 seed, advanced on Tuesday's game where they eliminated Coffee County. The Colquitt County Lowndes winner will advance to Friday's championship game to face the Survivor Team semifinal game between Brunswick and Tift County. The championship game will be played at 7 p.m. on Friday. The losers of today's semifinal game will meet at 4 p.m. to determine the number 3 and number 4 teams, both of which will travel to the first round tournament games. The regional boys tournament will be held tonight. The semifinal matchup will have a top seed Tift County playing Coffee County, which eliminated Colquitt County yesterday. Number 2 seeded Brunswick will play Valdosta at 5:30 p.m. this evening. Tuesday was the day the Tift County Blue Devils won their regional tournament game over the Valdosta Lady Wildcats 62-44, and the Devils learned that they will be playing Coffee Trojans today in the semifinals. The winner gave the Lady Devils their 4th straight entry into the state tournament. The Lady Devils will be playing their hosts today, Brunswick, the #1 seed in the only team in the region 6A that have beaten Tift County twice. Tonight might be a little different story because Tift won 3 games out of the last 4 games. Regardless of today's results, the teams will be playing Friday as the seeds determined for the state tournament. A good game is definitely expected. In some lighter news, the Highland Christian Academy principal David Ward honored 8 seniors last night during the last home game against Fulton Academy. Each senior received a basketball sign with their teammates and received at center court. Congratulations to all the seniors. In college sports, the Blazers are finally back at home for a game tonight at the complex and will host North Alabama at 8 p.m. The game opens a stretch of 4 home contests and 5 games for the Blazers. VSU is currently 9-1 at home at this home season and will use the stretch for the upcoming Gulf South Conference tournament, which begins March 7th in Birmingham, Alabama, and the Lady Blazers will also take on North Alabama at 6 p.m. tonight. In college tennis news, on Saturday, the 2 VSU tennis teams will travel to Winter Park, Florida, where they will compete against Rollins College. This is the first time the Blazers have played Rollins in 2 years, causing anticipation among the players. This is a chance for the Blazers to serve Rollins in an unexpected match. Well, that's all for sports today. I'm Ariana Deans. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ariana. When we come back, officials urge residents to learn CPR.
Stay with us.
Seven 7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step.
Welcome back to our Thursday edition of News Valdosta.
Today's Valdosta owns Nanny McLeod celebrates her 100th birthday today. She has lived in the Valdosta area her whole life. She spends most of her time quilting, which she has done for years. Some of her favorite memories are going to church with her family and riding in her wagon and mule. A very happy birthday to you, Mrs. McLeod.
Yesterday, Valdosta State University performed a tease of their show for this weekend. It was open to all Valdosta children. This mini show was to help promote the musical arts to young children. The event was a great turnout, and they look for a successful show this Saturday night at 8 in the Fine Arts Building.
Love and Action with Compassion is hard at work again. This organization reaches out to the homeless of South Georgia. It helps provide warm clothes and warm food. President of the organization, Margie Guyton, says they are currently looking for food donations specifically. They say any donations are greatly appreciated and will go a long way.
Still preparing for future storms, the city of Valdosta continues installing new storm drain pipes. The project will run all through February and March. These new drains will help prevent any flood damage and future storms throughout the city. Expect some closed lanes during this time along River Street.
Want to have some good, messy fun this weekend? The Dewey Color Dash puts a spin on marathon runs like you've never seen them before. With more on the story, here's Olivia Steen.
The Dewey Color Dash will be held this Saturday, February 15th. The Dewey Color Dash is a race that raises money for the benefit of families and patients who are cared for by the Hospice of South Georgia and the Langdale Hospice House. This 5K run is new and unique because runners will be met at the finish line with a cornstarch-created splash of color. Runners are encouraged to wear white or very light clothing in order to receive as much color as possible. Music, vendors, and photo booths will also be provided. So if you're interested in participating in this 5K event, make sure you register as soon as possible because online registration closes today at 3 p.m. And if you're not a runner but want to be a part of this great cause, volunteers are needed for water stations, color stations, food tables, and cleanup crew. So whether you are a runner, a volunteer, or simply a guest at this great event, just be prepared for a great time. For News Valdosta, I'm Olivia Steen.
Well, that's our show today. I'm Stephanie Salone.
And I'm Ryan Saylor. Thanks for watching. See you next time.